Okay, now, do you guys want me to check the audio, or are either of you going to check it on your phones?
I'm checking it on my phone.
Okay, that's good. You're helping me out.
Give me 1 second here.
Well, we only need one person to check it, but if you have your phone available, do it.
Yeah, I mean, I am coming. Well, we should be coming through.
YouTube. Check out Facebook. Hello, Facebook.
Hello, Facebook. Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, Facebook. Hello, Facebook. Yeah.
All right. I think we've got sound.
Yeah, I got it.
I helped.
Are you ready to start the
I
show?
am inspired.
Yeah, fire when ready.
Hang on.
Oh.
Let me get the thing shared.
Smart idea.
Russ looks ready now. I think I'm ready. I don't know.
Okay, you ready? Yep. You're both ready to go on the air?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, there's Nick's World. All right. Here we go, guys. When it says on the air on the timer, you're ready. Rolling.
What's going on? We're back. Fair catch after a while. Me talking to puppets and, but you know what's going on Saturday?
We get lives back. We get our football back.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. Love it. We're getting close to football. Hello, Nick's World. Thanks for watching.
Hey,
let's start things off with the players to watch, and I know you'll have players to watch, and then we'll go to our top 10. But I'm going first with Tyler Bass, and I'll tell you why. He has not kicked over a year.
Yep.
And it'll be worrying me to him missing field goals in the regular season. So I want to see how he does, especially in the preseason.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's coming back out. What was it? A hip? Is some kind of a hip injury and whatnot. So, yeah. I mean, that's a big one. But let's give credit to Dean Prater, who came like 3 days before or 4 days before the opener last year, and did pretty well for the team. Hit the game winner against the Ravens, right out of the gate.
He coaching in Arizona or something.
Yeah, something like that. It's like, kids, I got to go to work. I'll be back in like 4 or 5 months. But the good thing is that the Bills probably have other options out there in case Tyler Bass doesn't, something happens. So I would like to see Tyler Bass, work out and whatnot. But in case they don't, finding a kicker, they found Dean Prater last year. So I'm not overly concerned about that, but it would be good to have Tyler Bass back.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I would like, God, he didn't kick over a year. I mean, especially because of the injury that he had. So, that's who I want to see, one of my players to watch, and definitely the one we've been talking about, that linebacker Khalid Elam-Zor, because who knows how well Dorian Williams will look from coming back from his injury.
Well, Dorian Williams is in an interesting battle because Caleb Elam-Zor has been one of the stars of training camp. And Dorian Williams, if he's not ready for whatever reason, a lot of people based on what they've seen out of KEO, may as well use acronyms at this point. That KEO, why not? Well, why not, right? That people think that he can hold it down. So, so I'm not. So I mean, if Dorian Williams isn't ready, they have Keogh ready to go. And as a rookie, you're going to make mistakes, but the guy's athleticism and speed. I mean, there was a clip in training camp where he was almost step for step with Cook. I'm really interested in seeing what he looks like.
Yeah, they are starting some of the starters, which I like that, with the fact that Jim Leonard wants them to get used to, obviously the new defensive scheme, and but I mean, I don't think he's going to show everything, this preseason. And then the only thing I'm worried about, if Josh Allen is playing, do not run, Josh. Whatever you do, do not run. Do not be stupid and get tackled. Just get rid of the ball quickly and get off the field.
Josh is going to be Josh, but I'm pretty sure that he knows the drill as far as that goes. So, but I will say this though, haven't had many good news coming out about the backup quarterback situation. So, I would like to see what Kyle Allen and Shane Buechele look like, and see if and see what they do.
Shane Buechele looked pretty good in the last preseason game last year against Tampa. I thought he played very well, and he ended up going to Kansas City as a backup after Mahomes got hurt.
Yeah,
so that's pretty much he's pretty much getting his feet wet in a way. I mean, yes, we're used to having Trubisky as a backup, but he's with Tennessee now, so.
Yeah, I would like. Well, Kyle Allen is the one. Is the experienced one? He has a bunch of experience. I believe it was Carolina. I could be wrong about that. I think some would have been Washington.
Quite a few teams.
But I would like to see what the backup quarterbacks can do, and I'm also interested in seeing what Ray Davis can do, because Ty Johnson is kind of on the shelf right now. And Ray Davis has played well before in the past. So
maybe a little bit of Frank Gore.
Yeah, and Frank Gore Jr., sure. The first game is kind of like, just maybe you give the starters a series, get those guys' feet wet, and then you start pumping in the backups. And then you kind of go from there. But and Frank Gore Jr., I'm telling you what, he's a clone of Ray Davis. So I would like to see Frank Gore Jr. get some playing time there. Also, it'll be interesting to see what happens with the offensive line. Connor McGovern was injured during the scrimmage. Hopefully, he's hopefully it's not lingering. Nothing lingers.
From what I'm seeing, it as a lot of it is more of the hamstring injuries. Stretching. You got to get back your muscle back. Used to running and sideways and this and that.
That's the thing about training camp is that's when you start to get or especially early in camp. It seems like you get these hamstring, the soft tissue injuries. So,
and a lot of
him being a big guy, you just hope it doesn't linger. But it'll be good to see what Lloyd Cushenberry does and Cedric Van Pran Granger, because Granger's been on the roster a couple of years now. He's going into his third year, I believe.
Yeah.
So we need to see. So the backup center position is kind of interesting. To see how that goes, because if for whatever reason that's a lingering injury with McGovern, then you're falling back on Cushenberry and Granger. So so that's going to be kind of important. But and then the left guard position, you've got Alec Anderson, Austin Corbett, and Bruno Fina. Yes, Bruno,
nephew of John.
I thought it was his son, but however, he's a Fina. He's a Fina. Yeah. So there you go.
The Finas are fine.
The Finas, but I'm interested in. I'm pretty sure Alec Anderson he's waited for his time on the roster the last year or two. So we'll see if he can hold on to the starting position as Austin Corbett is a veteran.
And I thought he did a decent job against Pittsburgh because you're blocking somebody named T.J. Watt, who's one of the best defensive players in the National Football League, and he did a pretty good job last season. I got to give him credit on that one.
Yeah, and Nick was in the comments saying, "Hello, anyone there? Hey, Nick, how you doing? What's up?" Anyway. So the left guard position, because David Edwards left, is another position that I'll be trying to keep an eye on there.
And they did, speaking of the guard position, they did extend Osiris Torrance.
Yeah, they did, and I'll tell you what, man, that man's a brute. That man's a road grader. That man is all man. He's no problems with them re-signing Osiris Torrance.
They said he was a steal in that draft, by the way. They said
second round.
Yeah, first round grade, but second gets picked, and what a find for Brandon Beane. Even though people have question about Brandon Beane because of what happened over the offseason, I get it, but Brandon Beane has made some splashes in the draft, so let's not get all puffy fans.
Well, the crown jewel of Bean is Josh Allen. So every team's going to have hits and misses. You definitely want more hits than misses, obviously. But Osiris Torrance, there's no doubt that's a hit.
Oh yeah. And then don't forget about Ed Oliver.
You see, the thing about Ed Oliver, because I'm still waiting for him to have that huge breakout. No doubt, he's a star kind of season.
I thought he was going to have the last season, but he got injured.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Your best ability is your availability. So he's got to be on the field. So if he can stay healthy, give the team like 9, maybe 10 sacks. Hey, then that'll be great. And I'll tell you, an underrated position to keep an eye on is fullback.
Yes,
Reggie Gilliam was an unsung hero to that running game last year, and right now you have Ben Van Sumeren. He's slated as a starter. Now, the Bills did release their first the depth chart, and that's what I'm looking at right now. Ben Van Sumeren, he's number one on the depth chart, followed by Jackson Acker. So now it seems like they're going to go with they're going to incorporate more of a passing game this year.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not going to be as big of a deal, but still, when you have James Cook as the league's leading rusher, it wasn't all of the offensive line, although that was a huge part of it.
A lot of it was
Gilliam was a big part of that too.
Yep. I mean, even though fullbacks are pretty much a thing of yesteryear, basically, it's not like we knew how great. There was a lot of great fullbacks, especially in the Bills' history, like Larry Centers, your Sam Gash, and then back then you had Mike Allstott and.
Are you making me go all the way back because I'm an old man, so you're going to make me go back in time, aren't you?
Tom Rathman. Yeah.
I'm gonna stay with the Bills, and I'm gonna say Booker Moore.
Oh yeah, around the OJ era.
No, don't make me come over there. He was early '80s. He was early '80s, and he was with Joe Cribbs, I believe. So there. Don't make me come over there.
I'll age myself and say Carwell Gardner.
Ooh, Carwell. You're a great special teams guy.
Yep, and especially having a fight with the most popular player in Bills fans' history of Brian Cox.
Oh, Lord in heaven. I'll never forget the game when he walked out of the tunnel and he spit on the Bills' turf. And I'm like, okay, so we're keeping it classy. That's awesome.
And then he told us we were number one.
Yeah, he was number one, all right. But I think another position that we did, a couple of players to keep an eye on the offensive side is in the wide receiver position.
Skyler Bell.
We're on the depth chart. They have Keon Coleman listed ahead of Skyler Bell. Now,
I don't think I agree with that.
Well, again, this is the first depth chart release, so it's not, and until you get players in a game, you don't know.
Yeah.
So, and Skyler Bell's a rookie. For whatever reason, rookie receivers take a year or two to kind of get going. So I'm not all that surprised.
I have a feeling he'll jump up the depth chart this season. I have that feeling.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Keon. I mean, the thing about Keon is, I've talked about that first game of the year against the Ravens. He went off.
Mm-hmm.
After that, what happened? Immaturity.
Late to meetings.
Yeah, I mean, the list, you could go down the list. I mean, it is what it is. When you draft a young player like that, he's barely 21 years old. You're going to have some maturity issues the majority of the time. So, but I digress. So the third year is either your breakout year or your cut, pretty much. Mm-hmm. So, and don't underestimate Brandon Beane in making a trade right before the season starts, because he does have a penchant for doing that. So you could be seeing guys like Keon Coleman getting traded, maybe Van Pran Granger getting traded. Mm-hmm. You never know with Brandon Beane. So again, this is the first release of the depth chart, and I know as soon as people saw Keon Coleman as the starter ahead of Skyler Bell, they were like, "Oh my God!" It's like, okay, relax.
Oh yeah, I
You know,
right. It's only preseason. I get it. Everybody panics on preseason. The other guy getting to watch out for, Josh Palmer. I guess he's having a good training camp, and it's definitely. I definitely want to see him when healthy, what he was supposed to be. He was a deep threat in with the Los Angeles Chargers, and because he's got that like speed like John Brown, where he can deceptively burn you. But it's another guy that I'm watching out for, even though I don't think he's going to play much. I think they want to probably get like Skylar Bell going and getting used to being in the NFL field and against another team.
I think your players you're going to see a lot of are going to be Keon Coleman, Skylar Bell, Dante Pettis. Jamari Macklin, I'm looking forward to seeing. Little speedster. He's the nephew, I believe he's the nephew of Jeremy Macklin.
Yep.
So kind of interested in seeing him. Quentin Skinner, I don't know really too much about him. Trent Sherfield.
We know about
he was with the Bills previously, made that catch in the Dolphins game in the final game of the season. I'll never forget that. So, and then of course you have, and the one thing to look out for this season is the tight end position, Dalton Kincaid, and seeing if he can stay healthy. That'll be very key as far as that goes. I heard on GR. How they were talking about how they may manage his reps. So I don't like to hear that kind of stuff. I mean, but you know what? But you have Dawson Knox.
Yeah, and you have
so he can come in and make plays. And I'm telling you what, Jackson Hawes could be a guy to look out for. He had 20 catches last year, or around 20 catches.
And he has great size. That dude is a beast.
Oh, he's another offensive tackle playing tight end. That's pretty much what that is. And he's invaluable as far as the running game goes. But he's another guy to look out for. And so a lot going on. I don't really have a fear about the offense.
Yeah,
about the offense this year. So
more of it is on defense, like we said before. Landon Jackson, obviously Deion Walker, T.J. Sanders, those players, and I mean we'll see how Gregory Rousseau, definitely fits how he can fit in this defense of being a stand-up end instead of a put your hand down on the field and go after the quarterback. So that's going to be interesting.
And I'm really interested in Michael Hoyt. See how he comes back from his Achilles injury, and Landon Jackson, who by all accounts is having a great camp, and looks like he's in a defensive system that fits him. Better than what he was in before under Sean McDermott. So, and another guy to look out for as far as like being traded right before the season is Dwayne Carter. Defensive tackle. And it's a shame because he was just starting to come into his own a little bit until he got injured. So, so that's another guy to look out for. So that may be a guy to look at maybe getting a lot of playing time on Saturday. But the defense is where, the shortcoming of the Bills was, one, they couldn't get to the quarterback at least when it mattered the most. The playoff game against the Broncos, they had 1 sack, and that was by Gregory Rousseau. And the defensive backfield, they could not cover when it mattered. Bo Nix, credit to him, credit to Bo Nix, diagnosed a weak spot, which was Dane Jackson, and I love Dane Jackson, but it just wasn't happening for him that day. So what do? They, then Maxwell Harrison was injured, so he didn't play. So what do? They go into the draft and they draft Davis Igbinosun. Got it right this time.
From the Ohio State.
From the geez, stop it with the Ohio State guys.
Even though I'm Notre Dame all the way.
I'm sorry. So they have him, and they got Jalen Kilgore, who's listed number 3 on the depth chart as safety, but I'm not really worried about that. So he's another kid that's having a pretty good camp.
Yep.
Right now, and they got Toriano Pride Jr. and a guy that's listed number 2 on the depth chart at cornerback behind Maxwell Hairston, Connie Walker, undrafted.
I'm surprised because I thought you would have thought the Ford, I think, would have been number 2, but
you know what? I mean, this is where you find guys. Undrafted guys. You can find these guys.
Mm-hmm.
So that can contribute. C.J. Gardner-Johnson escaped a serious injury.
Cool.
So
thank goodness.
Yeah, so they're going to take it easy with him. So we're going to see probably DeMar Hamlin get a lot of playing time on Saturday, along with Sam Franklin Jr., Geno Stone, and Jalen Kilgore is going to get playing time. So probably not going to see much from Cole Bishop.
He got that hamstring injury also. He was part of that group of.
Yeah, so you're not going to.
Well, we know that Cole Bishop is definitely going to do. He's definitely going to be the day one starter. That's for sure.
Absolutely. It's about guys like D. Alford, who's going to be, replacing Taron Johnson as a nickelback. Does he take that over, or does Jordan Hancock, a late round pick, does he take that over to Corey Couch? So we're going to see a lot of those guys.
All right. So, yeah. So how about we do a top 10?
Sure.
I mean, I'll do, you'll do your top 10. Well, we'll each, obviously go back and forth. My top 10, I'm going by, who I think has much more of an opportunity to win the Super Bowl, even though it's an early preseason. So I'll let you start with your number 10 team.
No. You started it. You go.
All right. Well, okay. I'll start my top 10 team. And I like the Chargers at number 10 because if, Herbert, stays healthy and that line stays healthy, I think they got a team that could get far in the playoffs. They got a very good, obviously we know how Jim Harbaugh is as a coach. He's a very good coach. Took a team with Colin Kaepernick to a Super Bowl, albeit they lost, but it was a great game anyway between that Ravens and 49ers. So we know, so if healthy, I think the Chargers are a very, very dangerous team.
Yeah, I can see that, but Justin Herbert, man, at some point he's got to take that. He's got to take that step.
So what's your top 10? What's your 10?
Oh, now are we talking top 10 in the AFC or top 10 overall? Overall? Okay. Man, that's tough. Number 10 team. Chargers are good. You could go with the Bengals. maybe if Joe Burrow is healthy. But you know what? I mean, you can't. Oh man. No. You know what? I'm going to go with the Eagles as number 10. That's not too long ago that they won one.
Yeah.
So, Jalen Hurts, he's experienced now. He's not a young guy. The big question is, can they replace Brown at the wide receiver position? They still have Devontae Smith. They still have Saquon Barkley. They have a lot of talent on offense still. Their defense, they're monsters on defense. So I'm going to go with the Eagles as number 10.
Yeah, that's and plus don't forget they don't have AJ Brown, but a lot of maybe he was the problem in the locker room. But you also got Saquon Barkley, who's a very good running back still.
Yeah,
So yeah, my number 9, and it was a toss up between, because it was the NFC North and that. And then I was going back and forth between the Bears and the 49ers, and I'm saying, okay, what if they played each other? But here's the problem. The 49ers are a little bit unhealthy. I like the Bears because Ben Johnson's got that offensive clicking. Yeah, I might be worried about their defense, but it's an offensive league. So I like the Bears right now as my number 9, because of how Ben Johnson's got that team going.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the Bears. I'll tell you a team that, yeah. I mean, the thing about this year is that teams that did well last year, who's most likely to have like a step back? It's like the Patriots made it all the way to the Super Bowl last year with I'll say a favorable schedule, because in the NFL, anybody can beat anybody on any given Sunday, so I think they're most likely to take a step or two back. The Colts fell back mainly because of an injury to their starting quarterback. So I think in this spot at number 9, I think the Chargers fit well here based on the fact that their defense is good. Justin Herbert's solid, but not great. But the guy that I'm looking at is Omarion Hampton, their first-round pick from last year out of North Carolina. And the offense that he's going to be in, I honestly think he could be the bell cow that the Chargers haven't had since I don't know when. And I think he can take a lot of the pressure off of Justin Herbert. And if that defense can stay right, I think the Chargers can really make an impact.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, like I said, and plus, like you were saying on the offense, basically was, the reason why they got Mike McDaniel as your offense coordinator. And that, so.
Yeah, and that's primarily the reason, because if you look at the Dolphin teams, they threw the ball well, but they ran the ball. They were one of the better running teams in the league.
Well, also they had David Achane, that heck of a running back. So my number 8.
A lot of backs, though. I mean, they had a lot of backs go through there. So but I think Omarion Hampton really has the potential to have a huge season for them.
All right, my number 8, I'm going with the Texans. Their defense. Their defense is just amazing. But yes, do I worry about C.J. Stroud? Absolutely. But if he can get it, he did have a rocky start last season, but he finished the season well enough to get them to the playoffs. I mean, that's what really matters. But a lot of that had to do with their defense, their stingy defense. And again, the Bills have to open up against them. It's going to be a tough one.
Yo, definitely, it's going to be it's going to be tough. And my number 8. I mean, the NFC North, like you said earlier, is very tough. And this next selection may surprise you, but I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers.
Mm.
So, I mean, if Micah Parsons can stay healthy, he's going to be a huge charge of that defense. And their offense, Jordan Love, he's been good, not great. I think this year, I think he needs to show that he's great. And he lost Romeo Doubs, but Matthew Golden is ready, I think, to maybe step in and take and really vault himself to the next level. Christian Watson has great speed, but he hasn't proven to be healthy. So if he can be healthy, I really believe that their running game is going to be fine. But I think if Jordan Love can put it together, he can take the Packers to the next level.
Yeah, and plus you got a defense with Micah Parsons that was just absolutely fantastic. That's the thing that probably they're going to worry about if he gets hurt. But again, you can't worry about it because if he's on the field, they have a very good defense. But if not, they kind of are middle of the pack in a way.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely see that.
So my number 7, I'm going to the NFC West, and I know it's low. They won the Super Bowl, but they lost their running back, and that was the Seahawks. They do have. I mean, can Darnold repeat? I don't know. I mean, he's Sam Darnold, but they do have a very good wide receiving core like Cooper Kupp and JSN. But again, the worry that I have, losing Walker, but again, it's a passing league, we all know, and they still have a good defense. But again, that's the thing. Sam Darnold, can he do it again?
Well, like I said earlier, I mean, you have teams that perform well. I mean, who's going to take a step back? Will the Patriots take a step back? Will the Seahawks take a step back? They lose Kenneth Walker, but they draft Jadarian Price with the 32nd pick in the draft in the first round. And they also have Zach Charbonnet. So maybe that won't be as much of a loss as you think. But it comes down to Sam Darnold. Can he duplicate? Can he come back again? If he doesn't, then he's like another Trent Dilfer. So we'll have to see. Yeah, but the Seahawks, that defense is, man, that they are tough.
Legion of Boom 2.0.
Oh yeah, that without a doubt. Okay, so I mean, if I'm going number 7, if I'm going number 7, I don't know, man. The Ravens, I'm telling you what, I like the Ravens this year. I really do. Again, I mean, they're a team that was down last year, so can they come back? Can Lamar Jackson stay healthy? Because I think I'm going to go with the Ravens here. Because you know what, They have Lamar Jackson. They have Derrick Henry, who's going to be in the league till he's like 100, I think. So you have that. They have Zay Jones. So it's yeah. I mean, I can't get past the Ravens in that spot because they are. I'm sorry, Zay Flowers. Sorry about that. I can't get past the Ravens in that spot because their defense is good. Lamar Jackson's got to stay healthy, of course. Derrick Henry. So yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to go with the Ravens.
My number 6 is obviously our hometown team, the Bills, because I just like, as long as you got Josh Allen, then you have the league leading rusher of last season, which is James Cook, and a much better receiving core than we had last season. After all, I mean, adding DJ Moore, you have obviously Khalil Shakir. He's excellent. Plus the tight ends, if Kincaid could stay healthy, and who knows, the defense could be a lot better than it was under Sean McDermott.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to go with the Bills at number 6 as well. To me, the big question is the defense. Everybody's singing praises about Jim Leonard and what and what he's done so far. Which, hey, that's all great. I think between them, the Ravens, the Broncos, the Patriots, in a weird way, the Bills have probably more questions, but then less questions at the same time. I know that sounds weird. But this, I mean, I'm not saying that this season's going to fall on Jim Leonard's shoulders because we know what the offense can do. They did get an upgrade in DJ Moore in the receiving spot. But it's like you have the concern I have is that you have DJ Moore, Khalil Shakir at the wide receiving position, and then who else? You have Keon Coleman, unproven. You have Skylar Bell, unproven. Josh Palmer, but he's proven that he proved himself at the Chargers, but got hurt last year. You do have Dalton Kincaid. Can he stay healthy? But the upside is tremendous, and that's because of Josh Allen. So I'll put them at number 6, but with an asterisk.
Yeah. So my number 5, I'm going. It was a toss-up between the Ravens and the Bengals, but I'm going to put the Bengals at 5 because of Joe Burrows. Can he stay healthy? And if he's not healthy, they are not a good team at all. But when healthy, if he could get through the season, this team, to me, will battle it out with the Ravens. And I think just the coach that the Ravens have is a little bit better with understanding Lamar Jackson than John Harbaugh did.
Well, I'm not convinced about the Bengals this year. They lost Trey Hendrickson.
But they did get Deck Lawrence.
That's true, but we'll have to see. But but Joe Burrow's health is a major question at this point. So he does. Without him, they're not making the playoffs. There's no way. I mean, I think the Bengals are there if Joe Burrow's there.
Yeah.
So hopefully the offensive line can protect him. Because he's gotten beat up. so we will have to see. So I get it. So my next team. Oh boy.
That's parity for you in the NFL.
It is. It is. I mean, you could go with the Bears in this spot, but I don't know. 49ers, But a lot of it depends on Brock Purdy. But I'm gonna go with the Seahawks, the defending champs. Just like what you talked about earlier, Sam Darnold, can he do it? But the thing about the Seahawks is the Sam Darnold doesn't have to do it all. He has a good team around him. If the offense is having an off day, that defense is spectacular enough where they can carry the team if need be. But if Sam Darnold's off, they're going to have a rough time. But I really think Sam Darnold, because he doesn't have to be the best all the time, he doesn't have all that pressure to be great because he has a great team around him. So I'm going to go with the Seahawks in that spot.
Well, I'm going to pick number 4 as the Eagles. You already had them at number 10. Really, I think the Eagles, they won the Super Bowl 2 years ago. They still have Saquon Barkley. They got a very good offensive line. Jalen Hurts doesn't have the drama around him. Nick Sirianni doesn't have the drama with A.J. Brown. They still have a pretty decent defense that plays well in big games. And again, again, they're coming off 2 years ago being Super Bowl champions, and that division is theirs unless the Cowboys' dream comes true.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. My only problem with it, though, it's putting them up that high, is losing A.J. Brown. Replacing him. They have Devontae Smith. They acquired Dontavian Wicks from the Packers. So, they have to fill a hole there, and can Jalen Hurts do it? But Saquon Barkley is still, awesome, to say the least. So, yeah. But that defense is, if defense can come back and rekindle their Super Bowl run, look out. So my next team, I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
Go figure.
Go figure, right? Again, another team that if the starting quarterback goes down, what happens? Patrick Mahomes, they say he's healthy. Obviously he has the team around him. They got Kenneth Walker. He's going to have a running game that he really hasn't had before. No, he hadn't had a running back as good as Kenneth Walker. And when you have Patrick Mahomes, you're always in the game. And the defense is, if the defense can rekindle their Super Bowl run years, I think they're up there.
Well, my number 3 is their rivalry with that's the Denver Broncos. And I say that because the Broncos are loaded on their offense. Adding Waddle makes that receiving core just as dangerous. You're giving Sean Payton, a very good offensive-minded head coach, another toy, basically. And it's almost like it's not fair. Plus that defense of the Broncos, they get to the quarterback. We all know. They make big plays. They were only one game away from the Super Bowl, basically. If Bo Nix was playing and he was healthy, I think they could have won the Super. They could have made it to the Super Bowl, but you got to.
And he broke his ankle on what? What kind of a play was it?
A running play.
Yeah, whatever it was. I don't know, man. But yeah, my only concern about the Broncos is that it was a breakthrough year, for Bo Nix and the team and everything like that. Will losing Jim Leonard mean anything? Who knows? But that defense, they get to the quarterback. They are, you know, if you're a quarterback and you go and you go up against the Broncos, be ready to be pressured like from the start of the game to the end of the game. Do they have it to repeat that run to the AFC Championship game and go to a Super Bowl? I don't know. I don't know, but I really believe that first off, the AFC West, when you look at that, except for the Raiders, okay, because they're rebuilding.
Those winners.
I'm sure. We'll see. But you have the Broncos, Chargers, and Chiefs. They're going to be beating the hell out of each other all year long. So I mean, it's very it's going to be a very physical division, to say the least. But I'm gonna surprise you here, and there's a lot going on with this team, but I'm telling you, the 49ers are a team to watch. Now, granted, Brock Purdy is. I'm not completely sold on Brock Purdy, but I think this is it for him. He's got to prove it. He's got to prove it. I know he's Shanahan's boy and everything, but I think the 49ers have to make a run this year, or they may have to tear it apart.
Yeah, I was listening to Colin Cowherd saying something about the 49ers because Shanahan is very loyal to his players. A lot of it the injuries. They get hit by the injury bug so many times. I mean, I like the team. I mean, again, the NFC West is like the AFC West. You have three teams that could beat the hell out of each other in that, with the, like, obviously the Seahawks, the Rams, the 49ers. I mean, like, I look at it this way, why I'm not putting Kansas City in my top 10, because the Chargers and Broncos seem like they have the Chiefs number now, and that to me plays a big part. But yeah, the 49ers, and I heard it from earlier today on one of these things, that the 49ers did beat the Rams. They did beat the Seahawks in Seattle.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, when they're right, they compete with the best.
Mm-hmm.
That you look at the injuries that they had. If they're reasonably healthy, they can make a run. But they got to be healthy. Brock Purdy, he's a system quarterback. He fits Shanahan's system. I get it, and he's gotten paid.
He could be easily replaced by Mac Jones.
But he's got to go to the next level. So I don't know if they're going to do it, but I think if we're creating a top 10 as a team, the 49ers are a top 10 team, but they gotta do it at some point.
And look at Brock Purdy can be replaced. I mean, Mac Jones, definitely, has it going in that. So
I'm telling you what right now, if Brock Purdy is not hitting on all cylinders, I would not be surprised if Shanahan pulls him, puts in Mac Jones, and tries to go on a run with him.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised either. I honestly wouldn't.
No.
So my number 2, even though you had the Ravens at number 7, I'm taking the Ravens at number 2 because they got a good coach that's going to fit perfectly with Lamar Jackson. But the defense, they added a very key piece in Trey Hendrickson. It's like, well, they go out and get Max Crosby. Hey, Max, sorry. Not sorry, we just got Trey Hendrickson. Sorry. But they got weapons too. But, I mean, if Lamar stays healthy, they're a very dangerous team. But if he's not, I get it. But this is an early top 10. It's not like it'll change week to week, I'm sure. But it's like I said, the Ravens, I just like their defense is getting better with Hendrickson. Their defense was, beat up a little bit last season, but then they got better when the season progressed. And, yes, they barely won. They almost won the division, even though it was not a great division, with Pittsburgh being barely squeaking in, Aaron Rodgers, dumbass. But again, I think they might help their defense out. I think, like I said, Lamar staying healthy is key, and you have Zay Flowers, a very good wide receiver, and who knows, this could be Derrick Henry's last ride.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, who do they have behind Derrick Henry? I mean, that's, if he goes down for any reason, I don't know, because they relied a lot on him. They leaned on him. So we'll have to wait and see how that works out. My number 2, I'm going to go Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
For the reason, Bo Nix, if he, to me, if he's healthy against the Patriots, the Broncos beat the Patriots. That's just how I feel about that. So by adding Jalen Waddle and what they had already on offense, because the defense is going to be fine. The defense is the defense. They're a bunch of monsters, no, unless Jim Leonard meant more to that defense than what we were led to believe. We'll see. But I honestly I'm very high on the Broncos as long as Bo Nix is there. And that seems to be a common theme with all the teams, really.
Yeah.
Health, starting quarterback healthy. Don't have like an injury list like the 49ers to get, to derail your season by whatever. So I'm going to go with the Broncos. I think they're about a complete a team as you can be. So I think number 2 fits them for now anyway.
And I don't think you're going to be surprised with my number 1, and that would be the Rams, because they're going all in. They're going all in.
Definitely. Yep.
And look at tomorrow's decision day for Aaron Donald, if he's coming back or not. Plus, again, they went out and got some. I mean, I don't know if the name's familiar to anybody. Myles Garrett. They added him. They added who was it from Kansas City? McDuffie. They added him as safety. Then, wait a minute. Their offense, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, Williams as running back, Stafford, who was, they're putting it all in there. Chips all in.
No doubt. No doubt. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to go against the Rams, and I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns.
What?
Cleveland, gotcha. The look on your face right there was priceless. I'm going to go with the Rams too. I mean, they're the most complete team going into the season. But again, Aaron Donald, will he come back? Man, it's going to be. I think he is coming back. But he's been off the field for a few years. So, whether it's the same player who, we don't know that for sure. So, you pair him with Myles Garrett, that's a terror. They're terrors on defense. That's just how that is. Offensively, you spoke of Puka, Nacua, Devontae Adams, Kyron Williams, Drew Stafford. So they've got the mix, they've got the players, they've got the winning pedigree. So I don't have a problem with the Rams at number 1, and I don't think that's going to change.
unless
going into the regular season.
yeah, unless they lose or something like that. So, I mean, my honorable mentions, and this is, I mean, Kansas City, I just, who knows if it was a one-year fluke that they stunk. But again, they did improve their offensive line. I'm not going to lie. They did. I mean, adding Kenny Walker helps, but you got to remember, Kelsey's getting up there in age here. I mean, he's not getting any younger. Patrick Mahomes, how will he do coming off of the injury? That's why I don't have Kansas City in my top 10. They are close in that. So then I looked at Then I looked at the 49ers. I think just that Seattle and the Rams are just two of the better teams in the NFC West right now compared to the 49ers. Again, health. It's can Kittle stay healthy? Can Purdy stay healthy? Who knows? McCaffrey sometimes gets hurt here and there.
Yep. No, I totally get it. Yep.
And I put Green Bay. Again, what can Jordan Love do when he lost Dobbs? But they have a very good receiving core, pretty good receiving core. But I think the Bears are our number now. So that's the other one. Yeah. The other one was Jacksonville. They did well. Can Brian Thomas, improve from last year? And don't forget that they have a decent defense. So we'll see. And then Detroit, they're talented. Was it a one-year fluke? They still got Goff, remember, and they still got the receiving core that has a great running game. So
yeah. I'm more along the same lines, but I think the Texans are an honorable mention because of C.J. Stroud, because he really didn't have that great a year last year, in my eyes, anyway. Then you have the Jaguars and the Colts, and then in the NFC, the Bears. The Commanders, I think they're a team to look out for. Down year, coming back from a down year. And then the Lions, of course. And of course, and I'll tell you what, a team to look out for is the Vikings, because Kyler Murray has been named a starting quarterback. So hopefully, maybe he's grown up some, but we'll have to see.
All right, real quick, Mike Mixwell is on at 7:00. We'll see you in 2 weeks. So do our predictions.
Sounds good.
Oh, where's Rich?
I'm over here.
We're about to fade it.
Okay, guys, I'm going to sign you off.
Thank you.
I'm good.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.